What is going on, guys? It's Jimmy from TP Gameboys here, and today we're talking about some Call of Duty Vanguard content, talking specifically about what kind of guns should you be putting in your loadout when you initially boot into the game. There are a ton of guns in this game, tons of ARs, SMGs, pistols, shotguns, snipers, all kinds of stuff for you to be using, and it can be difficult to choose what gun you want to use, especially because there's so many attachments and different ways that you can run these guns. So it's hard to make a concrete, educated decision. So to cut through some of that clutter, I make in this video just to show you what you should be using when you initially boot into the game. And there's two guns specifically, the Automata and the MP40. I'm going to show you some gameplay with both, and there's not really a loadout just yet because there's so many attachments to unlock, but kind of tell you how you should be using this gun and what kind of engagement you should be using it in. Let's get started. So first and foremost, we're talking about the MP40. The MP40 is a staple of Call of Duty, going all the way back to some of the earliest Call of Duties, Call of Duty 1, 2, some of the early ones, and then making a real big appearance as a huge part of the multiplayer scene in Call of Duty World at War. And in Vanguard, it's no different. The MP40 is arguably, as of right now, I mean, I haven't seen too many of the other SMGs, it's arguably the best SMG in the game. It's very versatile, it works well at medium range, but it really excels in short range, and it excels especially when you are on the move. So as you can see in this gameplay, a lot of slide cancels, a lot of dead silence being popped, a lot of moving, a lot of making sure I'm never in the same place for longer than a couple of seconds, because where this gun excels is on the move. It's behind people, it's when they're not looking, it's when they're not able to really get a shot on you because of how much damage the MP40 does. I mean, I'm able to put 2-3 guys down very quickly just by hitting a couple of accurate shots. The MP40 is definitely something that you have to have in your arsenal, and you need to use it in this sort of way. If you try and use this as kind of like a Modern Warfare MP5 where you're even stretching into long range, you're gonna have a bad time. The MP40 really dominates in these close quarters engagements. I even like to have a knife as my secondary because it allows me to, when I'm in the process of reloading and having to relocate, I can switch to the knife really quickly, get out of the line of sight of the enemies, reload quickly, pop my deadie, and completely flank them and be in a position where I have all the, the ball in my court, so to speak. The MP40 really excels in this area. The other gun that you're absolutely going to want to be using is the Automata. Now, the Automata is not the first assault rifle that you unlock. It's actually the second or third assault rifle that you unlock. So stick with the MP40 in the early game because the STG just isn't all that great. But once you unlock the Automata, go ahead and take it out. You might be pleasantly surprised because you may not have seen this in previous Call of Duty games, but it's a really good rifle. I mean, very low recoil, good damage, a good rate of fire, and versatile in terms of what kind of attachments you can slap on this bad boy, and you can basically make this thing an unstoppable laser beam. I mean, you really can get this thing to a point where it's almost like a Modern Warfare 2 ACR in terms of how accurate you can be and at what kind of range. What I like doing with this gun is holding down one particular location. You call it camping, I call it map control. On this map here, as you can see, I kind of control the left side of the map as good as I can, while my teammates clean up the middle and far right. What that allows us to do is maintain cross angles. It allows us to keep map control and keep the engagements coming to us rather than being the ones pressing the fight. That's where this gun really excels, is controlling those long range engagements, keeping the enemy at bay, and really winning in that intermediate space where they're having to push, they're tack sprinting into you, they're not getting first shot, they're maybe damaged by your explosives, or they're damaged by your kill streaks, or you already have the UAV in the air and you know that they're coming. But this gun also really excels in that medium range where you can kind of get moving quickly, get behind them, hit a flank, drop two, reset to a longer range engagement to keep the kill streak alive. It really is very versatile in that medium to long range. Doesn't excel quite as well at short range, but again, that's what the MP40 is for. Automaton's a certified W, and I think it looks really cool overall. This is a great gun. So again, I don't have a ton of attachments for either of these two guns. I played a ton of Vanguard using the STG-44 before I realized how hot the Automaton was, so a lot of my attachments and game time are using the STG. But what I really want to hammer home for you guys is there's a ton of attachments, a ton of ways to build these two weapons. As you can see, there's like 11 or I think 10 attachment slots total that you can be running in this game, and I still don't even have all of them unlocked for the MP40 or for the Automaton, and I've got them both in the 30s in terms of leveling. So there's a ton more work to do, but these are kind of the general builds that I have right now. Obviously, as you can see here, the MP40, I got the Mercury silencer, the shrouded barrel, the slate refractor, I don't even know how to say the stock. Steady, fast melee, pine tar grip, the FMJ rounds, and the strife angled grip. On the Automaton, I got the MX silencer, the 600mm barrel, the Carver foregrip, the larger magazine, the subsonic rounds, rubber grip, slate reflector, the Empress broadsword, stock, pressure, and surplus. So again, not exactly the finished builds. I know a lot of the pros are running very, very different builds, so I'll revisit this later on and talk about my favorite guns in the game. But again, this is just to get you started so you can be a little bit better on the battlefield, not getting totally ambushed and not knowing what to do. And that is about it for this video, guys. As always, if you liked the video, please click like down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Really helps out. Ring the notification bell so you never miss another TP Game Boys video. New video coming out tomorrow. Really happy with it. Again, more in line with like the personality content than the gameplay content. So stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a good video. Otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Click the links in the description. I love you. Bye-bye.